rush is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 18. What's that?
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Stroud to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Why, Tony? 18. What's that?
Stroud off the play fake. That's over the middle into the hands of Noel. He's only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the Dolphins' 10-yard line.
All right.
Quick throw to Collins. So no gain on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
It's 3rd down
and he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. R.J. Harvey, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
Younghoe Koo is set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Brown. Will Anderson. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up. Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. His first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run and everyone else stays ready. And they were, and they picked that one off.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. On the ground, it's the rookie from Alabama. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
For the field goal. A 22-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the post. And that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They come contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Brown. Coleman has it here right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 more yards there and another 1st down.
1st down, Miami.
Operating from the gun, Brown. Pass complete to Royals. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 1st downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are back within a score.
His kick is good.
Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll cut it to 3 and 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
There's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. They'll complete this one to Collins. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down. Play action. Stroud now. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Here we go.
They run straight ahead with Harvey. And he's going to ball his way forward to the 48. The Texans at 6-4 now on the year. And they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go. Let's go. 18. That's it.
Stroud looking to throw. His throw incomplete. We'll talk about this Miami defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
On 3rd down, Harvey. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A gain of 5.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
Okay, ready?
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And we'll get about 3 past the 25. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Stroud sets up the play action. Taking a shot for Dell here. And it's intercepted. And the Dolphins force the... They'll take over at their own 27. Looking to put a drive together. Now Brown throwing to start the drive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richards. They're all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
This offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
The throwing again is Stroud. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Out of the gun, a run with Harvey. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
The second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Stroud working out of the gun. Now he'll tuck this and run. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation. They keep the football. He's thankful right now for that sideline. It could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it now.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
This throw nearly intercepted. Good D-line, they almost had it. But 3rd down coming up.
They approach this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on the punt. This is fielded at the 27. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Oh, ready?
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Stroud. Now he's going to step up and run. Over the middle, complete. That's Harvey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed in the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
And Stroud now to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Here's Stroud. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And 10 yards.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Stroud will look to throw once more. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Cool knocks this one through the post. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession in the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Here's Brown from the gun on third down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up fourth down.
19 sight, 19, ready.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Back to throw. Brown. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They're going to run this with a tight end. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 9.
Dragon 60, let's go now.
Operating from the gun, Brown. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And there he's going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Stroud.
He'll let this go deep for Collins. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Crew able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game.
Set to kick off.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
They're on 35-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, Stroud. Pulled in by Avant. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
That is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Brown. He finds his man. Complete. It's Richards. Down the right sideline. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Back to throw. Brown. And that is incomplete here. After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Now 3rd down and very long. Looking to throw. Brown. Working the middle of the field. He's got more complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. 29 yards. And the Dolphins have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Now a 2nd and 2. Stroud out of the gun here.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And he is going to have the Texans first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This to the sideline and over everybody, incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Throwing now is Stroud. Got a man. It's Collins complete. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has to get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Here we go.
Stroud to throw it.
He's got it with the 15. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
7-yard line.
All right. 118.
They'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal.
Stroud off the play fake.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
118. 19 Texans.
Back to throw. Stroud will try and do this himself. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
That's his third field goal now with the ball game, and they needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Throwing to start the drive. Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Maybe that ball's 2 yards shorter. It's going to give them the lead because you have a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
Brown now from the gun on third down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He was a yard or two short.
So much about offense is what we call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They're going to try and throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And nothing much materializing there in the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2nd and 7 from the 20.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Brown. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
2-yard gain.
On now the Miami field goal unit. And this one is right through. And the Dolphins have come back now to regain the lead. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Damn, I miss you, Chester. Sending love from my face compressor. Ground control with a soul like Bowie, and I'll chop you up if I'm under pressure.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun. Stroud. That one complete. It's tanked down. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before bringing up 8. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Stroud. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Taking a shot for down here. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Takedown, 53 yards. And the Texans use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A loss of 2 yards. It's now third down and 3.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
47-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Tackled back at the 41-yard line.
From the gun on third down. Brown. Wow, and that is incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some they like to go for the big shot. No fear of risking a deep ball there, but wasn't enough to get him the completion.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
It's a gain of 8.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Oh, ready? 118. That's right.
Play action. Stroud now. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late, and that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. Operating from the gun, Brown. And his throw here is incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Looking to throw.
Brown. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Well, Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they can afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Brown. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he comes back with 1 complete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Looking to put a drive together. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Down the field, he's got Noel. Down the left sideline. He may go. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Jalen Noel, 85 yards. And the Texans look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter.
38, Dolphins 24. Younghoe Koo is set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30.
35-yard line.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Throwing to start the drive. Brown. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll get that complete to Franklin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Brown. Now he'll tuck this and run. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Play action. Here's Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Here we go. Let's go. Swap. Love a swap.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
On the quick, right? 18. That's it.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Texans, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank